The foundation model transparency index has dropped from 58 score to 40 in a single year. At Stanford's own conclusion, the most capable models are now the least transparent. The most interesting part is, do we really actually care? When a model is cheap and works well, does anyone still ask how it was trained? Or if not, is transparency a public demand or a demand from researchers and regulators?
I think that most users really don't care about transparency until something goes wrong. If a model is cheap and fast and useful, the adoption just happens, regardless of how it was trained. So transparency is not driven by actually the demand, it's driven by the risk exposure.
There is something called the soft power, where if you want to be on the game, you should adopt some compromises. And if you look at Europe, and Europe is one of the regions with the most care of the user right and privacy. And this is the reason because we have GDPR, European AI Act, but in the global competition, even this fundamental right become negotiable.
The reason I see in here is that we've learned a lot about how these models work. There's several different architectures of these models, and the composition became, I think, a trade secret. In the beginning, everybody was happy to share, but then when you're really working against your competition, I think they just keep it to their chest because they're investing billions, and that's why they would not want to disclose it.
Interpretability is genuinely difficult, but at the same time, the distinction between we can't explain it and we won't explain it is becoming increasingly blurred. That is creating a very convenient space where accountability can be reduced without being explicitly denied. I think this matters especially for developing countries, because if you're deploying systems you don't fully understand, the provider also cannot or will not, because they don't want to explain them. You're making decisions that are basically based on a black box. That shifts the relationship from adopting informed to actually being blinded, or let's say something like a blind reliance.
I think when AI becomes a commodity, the transparency index will go up again. I think this is competition driven, and once a certain level of AI is standard, that standard will also be transparent.
I can't imagine in the next year there's going to be more voluntary disclosure by the big companies, but at the same time, by the same token, tokens, pun not intended, but there's also just more and more transparent models being put out by the same companies too. So it's not this monolithic, like up or down, left, right, it's all the different things at once, which makes the task of talking about it, addressing it, taking action on it really challenging, but super important.